Hello and welcome everyone to the Horsemen Hangout. It is June 3rd, 2014. We got a lot to talk about tonight. Some stunning news coming out of last night's Raw and some other things we want to talk about. Introducing the panel here, we have the four horsemen along with one guest here. We have Mr. Z right there for Mr. Rue TV right there, who's sporting the microphone once again.
How you doing, guys? It's going to be a party tonight. I've got my party mix right here. I've got my Sabra supremely spicy hummus. I've got a fruit salad here. I've got a fruit salad here. We're going to have some fun party all night here with the Horsemen and Triple H Guy 2004. Steven.
Rue, I actually get that Sabra supremely spicy hummus. That is some spicy crap there.
It is. I mean, if you want spice, if you love spice, if you like sweating until your pores drip wet with the sweat of the devil, enjoy Sabra Spicy Hummus, the official sponsor of the Horseman Hangout for tonight.
We actually have one other sponsor, but that is one of two. As you can see, Mr. Lane there, who last week on his boogie board had Y Rue Y, this week has Y Seth Y.
Yeah, I do. I'm looking forward to this subject right here tonight.
And we will certainly get into that, and that's probably going to be the first thing we talk about. And lastly, Mr. Steven there, Triple H Guy 2004. What's going on, Steve?
What's going on, guys?
How's it going? Alrighty. So, what I wanted to get into first, if you could take a look at my screen. What am I doing? What is this? What am I doing?
That's the bottom of your shoe.
Shoes.
Another word for the bottom of my shoe.
It's a heel.
What am I doing with it?
Well, a heel turn is what
Turn
you do.
heel.
I'm turning my heel,
Yes.
and that is what we saw last night.
Oh, I get it.
Ha ha ha.
We saw last night on Raw. Possibly ending one of the greatest factions in WWE history, The Shield. Seth Rollins, of course, turning on Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose. It was a pretty boring Raw up until that time, and I tuned in. I kept watching, and I couldn't believe what happened. I guess your initial reactions, your initial thoughts on the turn is I heard some rumblings on some of the websites that maybe Rollins is acting as a double agent and he's going to go back to the Shield, but I think this is for real. I think he's going to join Evolution. Who wants to go first? Ant, I'll go to you. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I thought it was a pretty boring Raw too. I like the Daniel Bryan stuff. I actually was not watching when I had fallen asleep, and you had texted me asking if I saw the end of Raw. So I quickly went to the WWE Network and was able to watch the post-game show, which recapped everything. The biggest shock, obviously, was Seth Rollins turning on the Shield and joining Evolution. I don't know if they'll go by Evolution moving forward because Batista's gone, but I do think it's for real. It's very surprising. I didn't think Rollins would be the guy to turn. If it were me, I would have turned Ambrose. I think Ambrose has much better heel potential, but I was still completely shocked. The Shield were at an all-time high as far as popularity, and I would have never expected them to break up now.
Let me just jump in there. I just want to something I observed before was the Evolution had a new T-shirt come out about before last pay-per-view, I think, and it had 3 guys on there. Now I knew that Batista was leaving, and I was thinking, why would they have an Evolution T-shirt with 3 guys on there if they knew Batista was leaving? So I thought somebody was going to join Evolution. I didn't know it was going to be Seth Rollins. So I think they're going to keep at it, and I think Rollins is that 3rd guy on the T-shirt. Rue.
Hold on, Just. I have to. I broadcast off my phone, and someone from work is beeping through. I gotta leave for about 5 minutes.
All right. I'll let you back on. All right. Rue. Seth Rollins, The Shield. Are you sad? Are you happy?
I'm very happy, and I'm glad that the generation of fans today could get a chance to see what a true swerve was, and that's exactly what that was. A great heel turn there, memorable heel turn. It's almost like, it's been so long since they've done a heel turn like that. When it happens, it is a true shock. Back in the old days, back in the 90s, people turned heel and face all the time. And I guess to a degree they do that today, but not in a major way like Seth Rollins did last night. Excellent job by the creative team there, and I hope Seth Rollins can really come into his own right now, because I know that Roman Reigns and Ambrose will. Rollins was the one that I was afraid might get lost in the WWE shuffle once the Shield disbanded, but I think I'm going to be proven wrong because from the looks of it, if he's aligning himself with Evolution, they're scheduling a push for him. So
that's a good point. I think I think they're not. Maybe this spot was originally for Ambrose, but I think they're not worried about Ambrose or Reigns because they said they're going to be fine without Triple H and Randy Orton.
I think the Shield are all three of them, future of the WWE. Them, Shield, Bray Wyatt, Daniel Bryan. The future is very bright for New York.
Mr. Lane, now I know you wanted to talk, get a lot to talk about this, so just give me whatever you want to talk about. Why Seth? Why did Seth do it?
Well, a lot of people were chanting him a sellout and whatnot. I think he's got the most potential out of all those guys. I mean, let's face it, when we talked about it, he was the MVP of that Shield stable. So whenever Ambrose and Reigns were in trouble, I mean, if you saw the match at Payback, I mean, look at the spot that Seth Rollins did that turned the tide of that match. He did a move over the stage and did a dive like over three guys. That was the changing point of the whole match right there. And then the next night on Raw, I'm really not surprised it's Seth Rollins' turn. I mean, Batista had quit like Z just said a few minutes ago, and quite frankly, I'm not surprised. I think Evolution has something up their sleeves. Triple H proves, in my eyes, he's one of the smartest guys in all of wrestling. He says he doesn't lose. Basically, that's what he said, and he did a major swerve with Seth Rollins. I mean, Ambrose. We said some people thought Ambrose was going to turn. Some people thought Seth Roman Reigns. Excuse me, Roman Reigns was going to turn. I think it was one of our other guests that said I think it was Sheamus that was a possibility for Evolution, which I didn't think so. He's the current U.S. champion right now, so it's I think Seth Rollins has a lot of potential. So that's how I feel about it.
Let me jump right in there. Steven, I'm going to turn this over to you, but Mr. Lane said a pretty interesting thing. He said that Seth Rollins was the MVP of the Shield. I want to get your take on what happened last night, but first off, do you think Seth Rollins was the MVP, or was it Roman Reigns or Dean Ambrose?
Well, I still
really,
think...
I'm going to Steven there.
Oops.
Go ahead, Steve.
Oh, what was the question? Sorry.
Well, I wanted to get your take on what happened, but then Mr. Lane said in his spiel that he thought that Seth Rollins was the MVP of the Shield. I wanted to know if you think that was true or if one of the other two guys was.
I don't think he was the MVP at all. I think the MVP, well, I guess some would consider since he did the high-flying stuff. But I like the turn, but I just wonder what they're going to do with Seth Rollins now that he's a heel. Because when he was a heel with the Shield, they really, he was the third link to them. He really wasn't, not that I didn't like him, but he just wasn't the focal point of the team.
Yeah, I think that maybe in the ring, although they were all three of them are great in-ring performers, in the ring maybe Seth Rollins was the MVP, but on the mic you got to go, I would say probably Dean Ambrose first, and then Roman Reigns is pretty good. They're both pretty good on the mic, the other two, but I think Ambrose was definitely the best on the mic.
Right now, guys, I'm feeling out of the loop. I mean, look at all three of you. I mean, Mr. Lane's got the man cave behind him. Mr. Justin, our host, has Bouncing Souls posters. Steven has a beautiful Lita poster behind him, and I've got a cat litter box.
Oh, my goodness.
Just saying.
Mr. Lane, you have some cats, don't you?
Yeah, well, I do have like a few cats. We have a couple of indoor cats, and the rest of them are usually outside cats. So that's what we got. But
Do you have pets?
well, just the cats. That's all I got.
Steve, do you have any pets?
I have one cat.
One cat. I do not have any pets here, but hopefully in the future I'll get a dog. So we'll see.
I'm a dog person more than I am a cat person.
Oh yeah, definitely. All right. Should we move on from the Shield? Or are we still talking? Oh, well, I guess going along with that, Rue. Going forward, this is really setting up the summer storylines, if you will. Where does this leave us for Money in the Bank and then also SummerSlam?
I'm back. Sorry for that.
Welcome back, Z.
Welcome back, Z. You missed a whole lot of good talk.
I'm sorry. I have a big day. I have to go to court tomorrow for work. Nothing that I'm involved in, just for my job. But I had to take that phone call.
I think he has to go to court for being a fraudulent Phillies fan. No,
Now,
just
is that the Cumberland County Courthouse or the Gloucester County Courthouse?
That would be the Cumberland County Courthouse in Bridgeton, New Jersey. I have to go to for workers' compensation court.
There you go. My dad used to.
I think you should pull a CM Punk and no show.
Ooh, maybe I would, but the attorney would kill me if I did that.
Ooh.
Hey, get John. So we have a fellow Horseman panelist who's a lawyer, John Sturgeon. He could help you out with that.
This is true.
Drew, getting back to where we stand here with these angles, where do you see things shaking out? Because I didn't really get many feuds coming from that Raw. I think they did. Let me hear your thoughts. Go ahead.
In terms of the world title picture, in other words.
And other feuds that might spring up, you know.
I mean, honestly, I don't want to say that it's filler what they're doing now, but honestly, I think they're just biding their time because I think Daniel Bryan is going to face Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam, and I've thought that since Mania, and I thought, you know, that's why one of the reasons why Lesnar went over on Taker. I think they're going to bring him back for a ratings spike at some point in the summer, and I don't know, maybe Stephanie and Hunter will be the initiators to bring, you know, okay, you're not going to give up the title, you still, you know, whatever. He didn't give up the title last night, obviously. I think Lesnar's going to come back at some point in July, and they're going to set up Lesnar and Bryan at SummerSlam. What other main event could there be at SummerSlam for the title? I don't see anything else that would sell right at this point anyway. You can't do. I don't think Bryan. I mean, you could do Bryan Triple H, which might be intriguing again. But I really think they're going to bring back Lesnar in a shocker, and I think Lesnar's going to take the strap at SummerSlam.
Rue, what do you think about this? I had heard that they made that main event at Money in the Bank, whereas if Bryan can't wrestle Kane, the title will be on the line in the Money in the Bank ladder match. I'd heard they made that as a contingency if Bryan isn't cleared by Money in the Bank. If he's not cleared by Money in the Bank, can you see Lesnar being an entrant in Money in the Bank, taking the belt until Bryan's healthy at SummerSlam and having that main event?
It makes sense, and I think that would be a fun way to go about booking it. But I don't see that happening. No, I don't see that happening. I think Bryan is going to be fine. I think he's going to be fine. I think they're playing it up a little bit for TV to add some drama to it. I think Bryan's going to be fine, and I think they're going to go with Plan A. Just my opinion. Again, I still think that the idea that Zorzi had before Mania was an excellent idea. Now, obviously, Steven is a Triple H fan. The majority of fans hate Triple H. But what better way to put heat on an angle than put the title on the owner? And I think if Triple H had the belt, not that he needs it, I'm just talking about making good TV. If Triple H had the belt, the amount of heat that he would have would be off the charts. And I think that would be another option. I might go that way.
And I'll throw it over to Steven here since he is Triple H guy 2004. How are your feelings if Triple H gets the belt here? Good thing.
Well, I don't know if that's even going to happen. I think he's going to go off and face Roman Reigns. I think that's what they're leading up to. I could see them giving him the belt just for a, you know, oh, we were going to go this way, but we need to go this way. I could see them giving him the belt, but yeah, and he would be hated by most of the crowd. More than he already is already.
Right.
Mr. Lane, sir, I see you said you have Bryan versus Lesnar there. Is that what you think?
Well, no. With all due respect to Rue over there, Bryan versus Lesnar.
Let's see your face.
For real, Ryan.
Yeah, I'm for real. Hey, Mr. Lane, I am for real, like those milkshakes at Wawa.
Now, I have to sell your idea completely because I have 3 letters for you. And this guy has legitimately let me not had a championship rematch, although he did lose. He did not never got a rematch really, and I'm talking about RKO himself.
All
right. The man had not lost a championship.
Thank God. Thank God.
Randy Orton doesn't need another damn title.
I'm just saying that because usually the way wrestling works, I don't care what organization it is. Usually, if you lose the championship, you are entitled to a rematch. That's just how I feel about it. I mean, Lesnar versus Bryan, I have to sell that. Triple H, lukewarm towards that. I would not be surprised if that happens. I mean, for a heel guy, I would not be surprised. But I just thought I'd throw Orton's name in there just for the heck of it because the man never got a rematch. I'm just being. Yeah, I'm just telling the truth.
You gotta remember though the rematch. This is WWE, and
Right.
it was a storyline, but it's true. They will do what's best for business. They don't owe Randy Orton anything, and he's had his time in the spotlight. I think he's cooled off a lot of it. So I don't see that happening.
And
There's so many new young guys on the horizon. Mr. Well, he'll remain nameless, but somebody told me I didn't know what I was talking about when I said that Bray Wyatt could be a potential future champion. And in my opinion, I said that, and my Twitter friend said that Bray Wyatt as a potential champion type guy. Now I see that. Roddy Piper wasn't a potential championship caliber guy. He was talented, but he never was that type. Jake Roberts, etc. But I think Bray Wyatt would be a great world champion.
I would say personally, Roman Reigns would have a better shot at the championship than Bray Wyatt. I think when I've heard some positive reactions at the house show about Roman Reigns in singles competition, I mean, quite frankly, I think Roman Reigns would make more sense. I think he would put butts in the seats for a championship run. That's just how I feel about it. Brock Lesnar, I have to sell. I mean, the man rarely wrestles. He rarely makes TV appearances. So what's the point of having him on a part-time guy that's not on TV? Yes, he beat The Undertaker. I get that. However, if you're a champion, you're responsible for that brand. It doesn't matter if you're TNA. It doesn't matter if you're WWE, Ring of Honor, whatever. You're responsible for that brand.
I agree with that. I'm just saying, it's all about the ratings. It's all about the TV
Right.
ratings, merchandise that you sell. And what did you say? The ducks in the seats or something?
Butts in the seats, Mr. Ryan. Butts in the seats.
I thought you said ducks in the seats.
No. Nobody.
Mr. Lane, did you know that my client Brock Lesnar broke The Undertaker's undefeated streak at WrestleMania?
Can I say something? I know what Heyman's great, but he keeps doing this. He keeps coming out with Cesaro, and he keeps not talking about Cesaro. He's talking about Lesnar. I know they're trying to build Lesnar while he's not there. That's why they're doing that, just to keep him in the fans' minds. But they're like, oh, you're the manager of Cesaro. Cesaro's getting a decent push, and he's like, what did he say? The one with 21 who defeated 21 and won or something. I don't know.
Well, I think Cesaro would be a sleeper, as far as I'm concerned, as a potential world champion. I would say Justin, I agree with you. I think Cesaro, the guy gets a lot of good positive reactions, even though he's a Paul Heyman guy. I will not be surprised if he does win, the World Heavyweight Championship.
Well, how about this? How about if Brock Lesnar beats Daniel Bryan for the belt at SummerSlam, and you turn it around and you start a feud between the two Heyman guys, and you go Cesaro against Heyman, you turn Cesaro face, and you have him fight.
I wouldn't be surprised if that happens. I mean, that sounds like a plan to me.
Steven, you want to jump in here on the what do you think is Cesaro's future here at WWE?
Cesaro's future is bright. I believe he is good with all the people in the back that he needs to be good with to get a future in WWE. A lot of guys, have a bad attitude, and that's why they're halted, kind of like Dolph Ziggler. What the hell's going on with him? Will he ever, get back to where he was,
Yeah, that's a good point there, Steve. I agree with that. That's a good point.
Yeah, but Cesaro, I think, will be a future world champion. I could see if they go with the traditional Money in the Bank for the briefcase, I could see him maybe winning Money in the Bank. But we don't know with the WWE title right now.
Well, the only person that's guaranteed it is Alberto Del Rio. He did beat the guy that you just said there, Steve Ziggler.
Right.
All right, I'm going to do something right here, and I didn't plan this, but I think this would be a good exercise. All I want is one word out of all of you. We're going to play buy or sell. Steven, you know what buy or sell means? Like, you buy something, you sell it. Yes or no?
Yeah, I got you, yeah.
All right, So, buy or sell WWE superstar as a future WWE World Heavyweight Champion. All right, I'm just gonna go off the top of my head. I'm gonna go start with Z. Cesaro, buy or sell.
Bye.
All right, Dean Ambrose, Drew.
Definite buy. Buy.
Roman Reigns, Mr. Lane.
Buy, definitely buy.
Seth Rollins, Triple H, or Steven.
Seth Rollins? Like, are we talking like right now, or are we just talking in the future?
No, future. Do you ever see him winning it?
I don't know. Maybe if they, I'll buy it, but maybe if they, it will have to be, you know, a when they, you know, kind of put the titles back to 2 titles. Maybe something like that. I could definitely see him giving like the second title.
Okay, Mr. Z, Big E Langston.
Sell. It's boring.
Mr. Rue, I will give you, let's see, Sheamus.
White skin. I don't know. Sell. Absolutely sell.
Not going to win it again?
No. I mean, you're asking.
In the future.
No, but I mean, let me just clarify. Are you asking us if we think they should or will they?
Or will they? Will they?
Okay, Sheamus, then no, sell.
Okay, Mr. Lane, I will give you Bad News Barrett. I wanted to save the best for last there. I'll give Steven the last one.
Who we doing?
Now, well, I'm waiting on Mr. Lane's answer here.
I will buy that, actually. I like his...
You think he'll be champ at some point?
I say yes. Buy.
Wow, what a push! What a change! He went from a fringe mid carder to a main eventer pretty much. All right, and Steven, I will give you. I don't want to say RVD because I think we all know he's not going to win the belt again. So how about Chris Jericho? Will he ever hold the belt again?
I'm gonna sell that just because. I don't think he's going to come back for a long period of time. He's just a guy that comes back and helps, elevate that guy to the next level. Even though I know he went up against Fandango at WrestleMania 29, but I just think he's just the older guy that comes over and puts over the younger guys.
All right, Mr. Z, Jey Uso.
Sell.
Oh, come on.
Hard sell.
Rude.
No.
Jimmy Uso.
What's that?
Jimmy Uso.
Hard sell. Hard. Farley, Farley, what do you think?
Sell. All right, moving on. That was a good segment. Maybe I'll do that again next week. I'll do a round the table buy sell.
I have one for the host.
Go ahead.
CM Punk.
Wow, very good. Very good. Z?
Buy. And I'm not saying in the next year or two. I'm saying maybe 3-4 years. Buy. I think he'll get the itch to come back, and I'm sure Vince will see the opportunity for it to be a financial opportunity. So I think it's a no-brainer. But it's all up in his court.
I will say, I'll say, I just want to butt in here. I'm going to still say sell on CM Punk because he's going to be 36 and he's still straight edge and he doesn't take any painkillers. And I don't know how you can go on the road without taking painkillers when you're inching up on 40.
Yeah, well, I have to agree with Ryan right here. I have to unfortunately sell the best in the world because I heard in an online report that he's retired. That's what I've heard in an online report. He did say something about that. I know the last time I think we seen him on TV was at a Cubs game. I think it was with AJ Lee at the time at the broadcast booth at Wrigley. So he sung like "Take Me Out to the Ball Game." That was like his last TV appearance. Not Twitter. Twitter does not count here.
Yeah. All right, let's move on here. It's 9:27. Before we get into trivia and some promo mania, I'm going to talk about Dave Bautista, who quit for the second time, I believe. We all saw it coming, but I thought it would be fun to.
Bautista.
Let me just say, since Dave Bautista quit, can any of you Do you have any fun stories of quitting a job that was satisfying, as Dave Bautista did yesterday to Triple H? Drew, I know you did once.
I probably quit about 4 jobs.
The Jilly's Arcade one was the best, though.
To make a long story short, I worked at a video game arcade on the Ocean City, New Jersey boardwalk. On the 4th of July, which is the busiest day of the summer season, I drove there. I couldn't find parking, and I wasn't about to be charged $25 to park at a place that I work at, so I just drove home. And then I planned on quitting the next day and driving there and telling the lady, but I did, and I walked in there planning on telling her that I quit, and she informed me that don't bother quitting, you're already fired.
Ooh.
So she fired me, Jilly's Arcade, for not showing up on the 4th of July.
Mr. Lane, if you were to fire Mr. Root TV, could you give us a year fire?
Root TV, you're fired. Fired.
What am I going to do for money now?
Shut up. I'm only teasing. On it. I had to do that.
Crickets.
All right, guys. Thanks for the I quit stuff here. All right, we're gonna go into trivia here. So the topic tonight, since we mentioned it last week, I am moving for the first time in 5 years. I will, or maybe more than that. I will. I was previously a resident of the state of Pennsylvania, but I will be a resident of the great state of New Jersey in a little bit. So we're going to do some New Jersey trivia, old-fashioned trivia here on the Horsemen Hangout. I know, Steven, you may not be as familiar with New Jersey as the other 3, as you were in New Hampshire. So if you have a guess, you're free to answer, but these might be a little difficult for you. So if you guys are ready for these New Jersey trivias,
Ready.
Ready? And I see Farley's ready. Z is ready. Okay, these might be a little difficult. The first one might be easy, though. We'll see. All right, number 1. What is New Jersey's state university?
Rutgers?
Rutgers is correct.
Wait, are we calling out? Are we just calling out?
No, this was the old-fashioned. You got to the first one to say it.
Okay, then Mr. Lane got it.
Yeah, I know you probably knew that one too, but
I knew it.
We'll give that to Mr. Lane, as he has 1 point there. Oh, you didn't win anything yet. You didn't win anything yet. Okay.
I know.
This is a kind of a trick question, or sort of a. You'll see. What is New Jersey's state animal?
Parakeet.
It's a yellow goldfinch.
I believe that's a state bird.
Well, it's an animal, so partial credit.
Let's just. I'll give a hint.
Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Wait a minute. We got Steven, who is not from New Jersey. You're rigging these questions so Steven doesn't get them. He's not from New Jersey.
I just mentioned that. I know he's not, but I wanted to.
You said it already.
Is it a rat? I don't know.
No.
Rat. Is it a devil?
You think all New Jersey people are rats? Is that why you say that?
Oh, no.
No, I'm just saying Jersey probably has a lot of rats. I don't know.
Lucky. That's a good guess there, Steve. At least you got involved in the game. That's good, man.
You know what? I think New York has a lot more rats. We'll say that.
Yeah, they definitely do.
Rats. There's a lot of rats at the Holiday Inn. Just ask New Jack.
Is it a devil, Mr. J?
Not a devil, but I'm just going to say that it has some relation to some of the people in this chat here.
Horse.
Yes, it's a horse. There you go. Just as the 4 horsemen.
Why?
That was my clue.
Why would it be the horse?
I don't know. Well, there's a lot of
Do you
horses.
have many horses walking around the streets of Jersey?
Yes.
I think that answer's made up, quite frankly.
There's a lot of
Next
horses'
question.
asses also.
Have you ever ridden a horse? Anybody in this room ever ridden a horse before?
I have.
Long time
When I
ago.
was younger.
I rode one about 5 or 6 years ago, and I was scared for my life. I thought he was going to pull a Christopher Reeve, get thrown off, break my neck.
Ooh.
Sure enough, I came close, but I didn't.
Actually,
Come on,
wait.
man.
The last time I was in high school when I rode a horse, and I was a little scared for my life. To be honest with you.
You don't know what those animals are capable of. They could buck, and then you could be done.
They could what?
They could buck, and you could be done.
Oh, I thought you said something else.
Oh, no.
All right, next question.
As you can see, there's Mr. Justin on vacation with my girlfriend, riding a horse.
Oh, nice.
I was
Yay.
in
Let me see that again. Let me see that. Oh, that's
Yay.
nice picture there. It's a nice picture. That's a nice. That's a nice.
actually some rum that we got from Dominican Republic that I never drank yet. Maybe I'll drink it tonight. I don't know. So, all right, question number 3. Where was the first baseball game ever played? For all you baseball historians out there, it was in the state of New Jersey. You have to give me the town. No?
Hackensack.
Close, but no.
Newark.
Close, but no. I think, yeah, it's pretty close. All right, it was.
Hoboken, New Jersey.
Hoboken, correct, Mr. Lane.
Oh, man, that's what was on my mind.
Yeah. And do you know the name of the field? It's got a very nice ring to it. It was the Elysian Fields. The Elysian
Okay,
Fields in Hoboken,
okay.
New Jersey. I'm actually going to get a poster of that for my new place. I think I'm going to... anyway, enough about me. The score is 2-1, Mr. Lane, to 1 for Mr. Z. I have 2 more questions here. Okay. In 1858, a dinosaur was discovered in a southern New Jersey town. What was the name of that dinosaur? It was the first dinosaur's full skeleton discovered in the United States.
Velociraptor.
A T-Rex.
No. Ant, you see that?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Bissy, what do you got? Bissy. That dog's got a microphone.
That's so cute.
It's like Triumph, right? It's like Triumph, right?
Anyway, the answer is Hadrosaurus from Haddonfield. The Hadrosaurus.
Oh yeah, I was just in Haddonfield and they had a statue of that, and I said, why is there a statue of a dinosaur in the middle of this town?
Yep.
And that's why.
That's the Hadrosaurus. Okay, going into the last question here, it is a closest to the pin question. I will ask all of you to guess the population of the state of New Jersey. Mr. Lane, I'll start with you.
Let's see. 20 million? That's my guess.
20 million. All right. Steven, do you want to take a stab at this?
I'll say 45 million.
45 million. Rue, your guess.
21 million.
You're doing a little prices right there. You're out. Mr. Z, what's your guess?
I'll say 16 million.
16 million. The correct answer is 8,899,339. About 9 million. So Mr. Z is the closest to the pin. That means that you two have tied for trivia crown tonight. And I don't have another question, so you're gonna have to share the title tonight. So congratulations to both of you.
All right. Let me play that sound effect here, ladies and gentlemen. Here, let me do it. Hold on. Wait. Oh crap! All right.
Very worthy, very worthy. 2 great New Jerseyans. Mr. Ryan doesn't really belong in New Jersey. He belongs, somewhere else. Probably like in Alabama or somewhere like that.
Oh man.
Yeah. All right. So since we're going through our ritualistic things that we do here on the Hangout, let's get into one of our new favorite segments, Promo Mania, where last week we saw my brother. Well, let's talk about this. Last week, my brother basically went off on me at the end of the show, saying that he was pissed because the week prior I didn't have Steven on, which I did not, but we had another guest on, my friend John.
It's amazing what can happen when you open your mouth. And as I did open my mouth, look who's sitting here. The person who deserves to be on the Hangout, Mr. Steven.
Mr. Stevens here, but that was my decision because I wanted him on, not because I am the host. Just so
If
you
I
know.
didn't open my mouth, Steven would be at home watching TV right now. He would not be on the Hangout. I created Steven. Well, I didn't create him, but he's my, my find, let's say. I found him on YouTube, and he is I support him. Love you, Steven.
All right. So what came of that argument was I challenged Mr. Rue TV to Promo Mania tonight. I told him I would give him a beating that he will never ever forget, and I'm about to do just that. As you can see here, I'm about to take off my watch, and I'm kind of.
Look at that fancy watch. You must have money.
No, I got this actually for my brother's wedding. It was a gift because I was in his
Fancy
wedding.
watch. He must have money.
No, do not.
Are you speaking of money? Are you being Ted DiBiase, or is that a surprise, or?
Well, I'll show you who I'm going to be. I do have a surprise for you.
If you really want to know who I've selected, let me just tell you something.
Selected. Well, you better be ready for my selection.
Can I give you a hint?
Because go ahead.
I sometimes like lemon in my water.
Rue, I have a surprise for you. I will not be facing you
lemon?
tonight on Promo Mania. There is a special guest to fight you tonight on Promo Mania, and he has just joined the call. Please welcome our special guest, Mr. Mark Golden. Mark, are you ready for Promo Mania? Welcome to the show, Mark. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Great. We got everything going here. Now, Mr. Rue TV, just to confirm, are you ready for this Promo Mania? You had no knowledge that you would be facing Mr. Mark Golden here tonight, correct?
I'm doing some reshuffling in my head because originally, like I said, I was going to be a lemon. Let me think about what I'm going to do now.
Okay. All right. Here we go. So
Called in the ring tonight.
before you reshuffle your thoughts, I'm going to let Mark Golden. Oh, yeah, he's got something up there already. I'm going to let Mark take some time and give you his Promo Mania. So, Mark, whenever you're ready, if you want to go ahead and shoot.
When the hell did? Okay. All right.
Mark,
you guys double crossed me, and you thought you basically would send in the
no,
truth.
the thing is, you were treating me, with no respect last week, and I was sick and tired of it. So,
Well, I do know Mark can do some impressions, so let's see what he's.
All right, there you go, Mark. Go ahead, give it to Rue.
Hey, you know what, boys? Wrestling, when it comes to wrestling, nobody cares. It's fake, it's fake, it's fake. You guys are talking about who's going to be the champion. It's a prop, bro. It's a prop, bro. Nobody cares. But Booker T was not going to leave in 2000 without the championship, bro. But it's a prop, bro, and I gave it to myself. But at the time, that was before I was I was born again, bro. And as you can see, I got my Ring of Glory sword, bro. That's not a prop. And Ring of Honor, Ring of Glory is real, bro. That's real. It's about his centrification and glorification. It's not about championships. Nobody watches wrestling. And I know it's true because I say it three times, bro.
Wow.
I don't get it.
I bet you. I bet you don't, bro. I bet you don't, bro.
Oh boy. Hey, go
Bro.
right now, just for our viewers that don't know this, Rue is
I got my shirt open because Tom Jones was my original. He was entertainment, bro. He was entertainment. That is what people watch wrestling for, bro.
Right.
For entertainment, bro. Not wrestling, bro.
All right, we got it.
just so you guys know, Rue is a Vince Russo fan, so I think This is gonna be tough.
Everybody is, man. Look at check out me on Twitter. Porno and Hullabaloo, bro. That's my Twitter handle. And that's my website, bro.
As you can see there, it's up on his Vinny Rue Porno Hullabaloo right there. All right, so that was pretty good. That was pretty good.
But I don't talk shit about. I do not say anything negative about anyone anymore because I'm a Christian.
There he is, a Christian. All right, thank you, Mark. I know this is a surprise, but Rue, I think you're up now, and you're gonna have to respond to Mr. Mark Golden here, or Vinny Rue as he calls himself. So, are you ready, or should we? Are you forfeiting here?
Am I forced into being a rosebud?
A rosebud?
I'll be right back.
Okay.
Well, he's gonna have hot Chex Mix, hot Chex Mix, hot Chex Mix, or whatever it was he was eating.
All right, as we wait for Mr. Rue to respond to the Promo Mania here, I'd like to welcome Mark Golden onto the show, at Real Mark Golden. I think he's doing the Vinny Rue. He's going to keep up with that thing there. Mr. Lane,
Who is Mark? Who is Mark Golden? Mark? That sounds perfect. He must be a wrestling fan. He's a Mark.
Mr. Lane, what do you think of the Vince Russo impersonation right there?
I loved it. Great.
It was great. Steven, was it spot on?
I don't know if it was spot on, but it sure made me laugh.
Mr. Z, was it spot on?
I haven't really heard Russo talk that much. I'm not that deep into what. I don't really.
I'm all over YouTube, bro. I got like 700 hours of video. Check it out.
I don't really care that much to be into Vince Russo, so I didn't really get it.
Gotta go watch that shoot interviews.
All right, Mr. Rue has
Well, let me tell you something right here now, boys.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
All right, you gotta let him talk. He let you talk. You gotta let him talk.
Now let me tell you something right here. For the past 5 minutes, I've been hearing a whole lot of sizzle, but here comes the steak. Okay, you like sizzle? Well, I don't give a damn if you like sizzle because here comes the steak right here. You want to tell me something? Who am I? Well, first of all, you know what? I'm going to take my time with this. I'm not going to mess around. Be quick. Host, who am I cutting my promo on tonight?
You're cutting your promo on Vince Russo.
No. See, there's where you're wrong right there. I'm not cutting a promo on Vince Russo. Okay, Vince Russo, he doesn't get the credit he deserves. Okay, be that as it may, I'm cutting the promo on, and everybody wants to shoot everything, shoot from the hip on these podcasts, on these internet sites. I'm going to shoot on Mr. Mark Golden right now. Mr. Mark Golden, number one, would you stop with the messages to me? You send me too many damn messages a day. Let me tell you something. I'm going to put a limit on the number of tweets that you send to me. I'm going to put a cap on it, all right? 5 tweets a day, nothing more than that. If you send me more, I'm going to send my wife, my beautiful wife, Jan, to your house. There's my cat. He's looking like a government mule tonight. That's funny because he's a cat. How the hell can a cat look like a government mule? I do not know. All I do know is stop. Yeah, whatever. Stop tweeting me so damn much. Get it relaxed, take a cigarette break, whatever the hell you got to do. Maybe you might want to take a little gulp of some Sweet Baby Ray's I've got right here because my barbecue sauce has gone out of business. Hell, you're the only damn man who bought a case of them. Well, outside of Barry Windham. Barry Windham bought 3 cases. God bless Barry Windham. I love him. I even loved him as the stalker, Barry Windham. My cat is biting my face right now. My cat is biting my face right now. Biting my face. This kitty cat's going crazy. Okay, well, bottom line, and I'll make this short and sweet right now. I'm going to wrap it up right now. Mark Golden, would you leave me the hell alone? because it's too much. Like I said last week, you bought 7 cases from last week to this week, and I told you I don't sell them anymore, so I'm going to endorse Sweet Baby Ray's, the barbecue sauce of champions. That's all I got. That was a shoot. Now I got to take a shit. Goodbye.
It was a pleasure to hear from Stan Hansen. At least I think that's who that was. Stan Hansen. When they used to, before it was entertainment.
Stan Hansen, I don't know who that is, but that was two very good promo manias there. I don't think I'm gonna judge tonight. I think I'll leave it up to Mr. Lane, since he's kind of the in between here, you know.
Well, I already declared my winner. Mark wins. Vinny Rue. Great job, man, great job. That was excellent stuff.
All I was doing was tell the truth. But thank you.
No problem, man.
All right, and as we see, Rue has gotten up. I don't know if he's gone for the night or if he's going to come back, but that is Promo Mania for this week. It is 9:48 here. Let's get into some final things I wanted to talk about.
All right, I had to shoo that guy out. I'm sorry, guys, but Jim Ross broke into my house, and it was a whole debacle. But I'm sorry for that.
Yeah, I don't know if you know this, Rue. When you were gone, Jim Ross got on the mic, and he actually lost Promo Mania to Vinny Rue over there.
Well, be that as it may.
Jim Ross was so last week, man. That's all I got to say to you, buddy.
Well, it was a solid Russo and a solid Jim Ross, if I do say so myself.
Yeah, and you do a great Jim Ross, but I'm just saying it was so last week. I mean, I think
there's got to be some sort of irony in the fact that Vince Russo repeats things 3 times, and back in the day, Jim Ross, well, I don't think he does anymore, but when he used to scream, he would scream in 3s. So what is the irony there? They both do the same thing. I don't know.
Maybe he was writing for him.
No, but I love Jim Ross. No disrespect to Jim Ross. And I know the original Jim Ross impersonator, our buddy Ed Ferrara, doesn't like to bring that topic up anymore. But I just like to do it to have fun. So no offense to Jim Ross or Ed.
Yeah.
And no offense to Vince Russo.
All right, no offense. You know, I honestly wanted to do Promo Mania tonight, but I guess I'll save it for next week because I just wanted to. Well, you know what? I'll just do this right now. Rue, you lost tonight. You know, you gave it a great shot. And even though you're a loser, and even though, you know, you might not have won Promo Mania, maybe next time you can do it. Because all you gotta do is believe. Alright, I just wanted to say that there.
Okay, I get it.
What?
Never mind.
Are you eating a banana with a knife?
Yes.
Mr. Lane says what? And I say, you gotta believe!
All right, Justin Dallas.
This is dead air. Come on, ask us.
It's not dead air. I'm being entertaining. Everyone loves it. Look at all our viewers.
It's all about the entertainment. An eyeball on each screen.
All right. So we talked about the Shield. What else happened on Raw last night? I mean, I didn't really take too much besides Batista and the Shield. We could talk a little bit about what I wanted to get into. I know it's maybe more for the 4 Horsemen, but I wanted to talk about the new Alan Selig is resigning at the end of this year. I wanted to know who you think the MLB commissioner should be, and I'll give this one to you since you are a resident baseball expert.
Well, the one person that I would think could fill Bud Selig's shoes is Michael Lane. Mr. Lane, would you accept the job?
Well, Z, that's a great. I'm flattered by the idea, but if I had to be realistic, I wish I could say Ted Turner, but absolutely not. I'm not going there. I'm going to say Joe Torre. Joe Torre, I think, would make more sense.
You know what? That's a good point, Mr. Lane. If you were the acting commissioner of WWE of the MLB, what would be your first plan of action? What would you do first?
You know what? I'm glad Joe asked me this because. You know what? This might sound silly what I'm about to say.
I'm gonna retire Hank Aaron's jersey.
No. This has to do with television. I would like to see Fox relinquish Major League Baseball, put it back on NBC. I want to hear the old Bob Costas again, not Joe Buck. Joe Buck, I'm sorry, is terrible.
I agree.
He's a terrible announcer. I'm sorry, but Bob Costas is way better. Heck, put Matt Sturgeon on there. Put Matt Sturgeon, Harold Reynolds, or him and HR would do good. That would be my first act. Drop baseball from Fox and put it back on NBC. That would be my first act. That's
Mr. Lane, how do you feel about Pete Rose? Would you remove his lifetime ban if you were commissioner?
Well, you know what? That's another good question. I would have to put that in the Supreme Court maybe. I don't know, but I don't know. I honestly don't know, Z. I think when you bet on your own team in baseball games and whatnot, like they say the allegations were, I would have to leave Pete Rose alone.
This is what I think of this segment.
Oh no!
Thank you, Tony Bruno.
It's at the end of each show, Mr. Ruse starts turning into a different person. He almost does one of these, and I'll bring it back. He does one of these. He goes like that. Y'all understand that? He's a good guy. He loses promo mania, and then he does one of these. Who?
I agree with Ryan though. I did like Seth Rollins' turn. That was definitely really old school heel turn that we didn't see coming a mile away. That was nice to see.
Yeah, I definitely. It'll be good. It'll be really interesting to see what happens on Raw. I don't know.
Did somebody suggest maybe he was infiltrating the group, the Evolution? That might be interesting.
Yeah, I heard that and I mentioned that. I don't know.
He beat them too much with those chairs. It's just for that to be.
Somebody's got to get the spoiler alert here on SmackDown to see if anything happened with that. I doubt they did anything on SmackDown. But,
I got the report. Nothing happened.
Nothing happened? They didn't even show up?
No, I don't know. I'm just joking. Nothing ever happens on SmackDown.
I have to be honest with you. Since they moved to Thursday nights, it must be like 10 years or 8 years now since they moved. I was an avid SmackDown watcher on Thursday nights, but once they moved to Fridays, I dropped off.
What are the ratings like? Anybody?
I think they do about a 1.5, 1.5, or 1.7.
What does Impact do?
Impact. Impact was right around 1.2 for 1.3 for a while. Now they dipped below a 1. Now they're like about a 1.9, or I'm sorry, a 0.9 or something.
Mr. Lane is doing his thumbs down to Impact.
Yeah, man. I mean, I thought their ratings were worse than that, but there's something I have to say about TNA, and I want to bring up this little story. I think it was about last month where I heard in the behind the scenes where there was some TNA television crew that threatened to walk out because they didn't get paid or something like that. I want to know if Steve or Mark would address that situation about the TNA situation. I know Mark is very, very pro TNA, and that's fine. And I don't know if Steve watches TNA or not. I'd like to hear what you all have to say about that one.
All right, well, I'll kick it over to Mark first.
Well, that certainly wouldn't be the first time that they've had financial hardships or issues, or people were getting paid late. It's happened a few times before. And I did hear this story. I read it, and it is true. But when they realized what had happened, then they made sure everybody got paid right away. It still shouldn't happen, though.
Yeah. Triple H. I mean, Steven. I keep saying Triple H guy.
I don't get how this happened. I mean, the guy. I mean, in all seriousness, Dixie Carter might be the public figure of that company, but her dad owns that company, and he's a multi-billionaire. I mean, your people should be paid whether your product is crap or not. That's not his fault, but that's not their fault. The guys behind the scenes, that's not their fault. They're just there to shoot whatever the people put out there. Those people need to be paid.
Yeah, and it's really sad to see what TNA has become. And as anybody knows, maybe you don't remember, but I was one of their biggest fans back in the day, and I can pinpoint the exact month when the downward spiral happened. And unfortunately, all due respect to the legend, but when Hogan and Bischoff came in,
It was when I lost my job.
well, no, not necessarily, because I think when Russo was there, even towards when they changed to the blue ropes and Wrestling Matters, and I think it was still downward spiral even when he was there. But I specifically remember a time when it was really, really hot. They had Angle, they had Nigel McGuinness, they had AJ running strong, they had Foley there. It was '09, and then that was right before they brought in Hogan. And again, I was a supporter even when they brought in Hogan because I wanted a second. I lived through the wrestling wars, and I know the business is better with two strong companies, so I still supported them. But again, okay, I'll steal a Russo word, Golden. The reality of it is, as soon as Hogan and Bischoff came in, it started to tank.
Then probably the first mistake they made was trying to go head-to-head live on a Monday night. It was a little too soon. If they would have waited and tried to build an audience and then tried that, it might have worked.
Yeah, go back and watch those Kurt Angle, Desmond Wolfe matches.
Oh, those were fantastic, yes.
Well, if I had to say something about it, I think it was the 6 sides of the ring. I mean, that was very original on the part of TNA to do that. I mean, to have a 6-side ring, like the way they did it. I think that was very original on TNA's part. That was originality. And even the X Division, that was very original too, where you would have the X Division title right above the middle of the ring. You couldn't use a ladder to access that title or win the title. Those were 2 original steps I think that TNA had. I didn't watch it much, but I did watch a little bit of the clips.
Yeah, Mr. Rue got me into TNA, and I was a big supporter too. More of the X Division.
I could vividly remember pulling you into the TV room and watching a 3-way dance between, or forcing you to watch a 3-way dance between AJ, Christopher Daniels, and Samoa Joe. I would force Justin to watch good wrestling over the years, whether he liked it or not. So
it was for my own good, though. And Samoa Joe, yeah, I mean, all those guys, Danielson and everybody in the X Division. Low Key, was he Low Key in TNA, or was he a different name? Caval. What was he?
He was Low Key in TNA, and then he became Caval in WWE for a few months.
He just signed a contract with the TNA.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Yeah. The ship has sailed for some of those guys, but they were great performers. They're still good performers, but
Samoa Joe came back too. Hopefully he has the title soon.
Yeah. So
I really like Samoa Joe coming back.
Yeah.
Is he? I honestly haven't seen him work in a couple of years. Is he still the same competitor in the ring? Is he still
Yeah.
guy?
Yeah.
I don't think he's lost a step really. I mean, I think he needs some other workers, new workers, to get the best out of him. I would love to see him and Punk go at it again, but that's not going to happen, unfortunately. And I don't think he's coming. I don't think Joe has any plans of leaving TNA. I think he's getting paid. He's one of the few that are actually getting paid very well, because he wouldn't be there if they weren't paying him well. He's not the kind of person to work for free.
Mm-hmm.
They're up to something though, because they've just signed about 10 of their guys to multi-year contracts, so they must have something up their sleeve.
Yeah. All right. Well, it is 10 o'clock here on the East Coast. I think it's time to wrap it up, as we do typically here on the Horsemen Hangout. So, final thoughts, and then we'll sign off here. I wanted to begin by just saying thank you to all of our guys coming on tonight. As I mentioned before, I'm moving from Pennsylvania to New Jersey. I'm going to have an open letter here to Pennsylvania, the state of Pennsylvania. I'm going to miss you. But what I'm not going to miss the traffic, even though I'm still going to actually work in Pennsylvania. So I guess I'll still hit that. But I'm not going to miss having to go to 2 different stores if I want liquor and beer. New Jersey, don't have to worry about that. And I'm not going to miss the Philadelphia Phillies. Just kidding. I'll always be a Phillies fan, and I'm just even when I'm in New Jersey. But that's about it. Pennsylvania and New Jersey are about the same. They're the same people. South Jersey and Pennsylvania. So I'll pass it on to Mr. Z for his final thoughts.
Tomorrow is my brother's birthday, so happy birthday, Frank. Even though you're a Sheamus fan.
Happy birthday, Frank.
Happy birthday, Mr. Frank. Get him a Sheamus T-shirt. Broke Street Hooligan. Rue, your final thoughts.
Just before air, I read a story about how Jonah Hill had to apologize on live radio, I believe Howard Stern, because he called a paparazzi that was bothering him and following him for a long time a homophobic slur. off the cuff. And I don't endorse saying that word at all. I mean, as anybody who knows, my political views are definitely more to the left, so it's not anywhere near. But the point of it is, I'm so tired of comedians and people having to apologize for saying something. I realize it's an offensive word and people get offended by it, but I feel like our culture is creating an atmosphere where everyone is basically afraid to speak their mind and afraid to. It's just sad. It's just sad. Jonah Hill had to apologize on the air like a baby. Not that what he said, I'm not justifying what he said. He basically said, he told the paparazzi, you can S my you-know-what, U-F-A-G. I'm not endorsing those words at all, but at the same time, I don't understand. Obviously, he didn't mean it in a homophobic way. He just said it off the cuff as an insult, and I feel like I'm just tired of people having to apologize. That's all. I'm going to be. That's all. Go.
Okay, no, we get you there, Mr. Rue.
Yep.
Mr. Lane, your final thoughts.
Well, I thought it was an excellent show tonight. You know, it was a lot of surprises and whatnot. I was just watching the show, being involved in it. You know, it was great. Thank you, Mr. Golden. I mean, and I thank everybody on this panel tonight. It was a great show. So I'm just going to give you all a round of applause.
So, you know, next week we will be doing Promo Mania, also trivia, and I want to bring back that rapid fire buy sell. I'll have a good topic for next week. Mr. Golden, do you have any thoughts you'd like to share with us?
I just wanted to say once again, Justin, thank you for inviting me on the show again. That you were the first person to invite me on the show in the first place, and again tonight. So thank you.
You're welcome. And yeah, thanks for coming on the show, Mark. And Steven, do you have any final thoughts there? Thank you also for being on the show.
I just want to say thank you for having me on the show again. We had a good time, and hope to be back some again.
Yeah, definitely. And Steven, I took a look at that YouTube video you sent out last week on your account. Best of luck with all the stuff going on in your personal life with your brother and everything. So if you need anybody to talk to, any one of us on this panel here will be welcome to and happy to talk to you. So, alrighty.
Thank you. I agree. Thank you for that support. And,
yeah, I don't know if you guys saw that on YouTube, but check it out.
Wait a minute. Let me just say, if they didn't see it on YouTube, why don't you plug Steven's YouTube channel so they can see it?
His YouTube.
Yes, Steven and I did a 3-hour show the other night.
All right, well, the plugs will go around real quick. It's at Triple H Guy 2004. I think that's your same YouTube, isn't it? Triple H Guy 2004.
Yep.
Yep, and then it's at Real Mark Golden on
right.
Twitter. You don't have a YouTube, or do you have YouTube now?
I don't know what the. I'll give you that later. Okay. I don't know what it is.
Golden, Mr. Lane is at Mr. Lane Sir. Rue is at Ryan Patrick or Ryan Patrick.
The Ryan Patrick. Yep.
Ryan Patrick, and Mr. Z is at Azors33. Right? Did I get that
That's right.
Okay. I just get confused because it says ZBoy323 on here, but anyway.
Well, that's my YouTube name.
And I am at Y2Jussie, and I'm telling all of you that if you're having a rough week, all you got to do is believe.
Good night, everybody.
Right on. We'll see you next week.